Hello, this is Doug Stroud of Performer Apps, where I'm an LN consultant. Today, I'd like to discuss with you LN personalizations on a multi-table session. For this example, I'm going to use sales contracts. So let's open sales contracts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go to the details. So what I want to show you is on this sales contract, there's actually two set tables involved. There's the sales contract header, and then down here is the sales contract lines. So what I want to do is talk about how you can modify this so that every time you go into a sales contract, you don't have to go to the header details to modify fields. And to do that, what I want to do is open up the personalizations. I'm sorry, I apologize. I want to go to the sales contract details. And you'll notice that the sales contract header details, you have a general tab, a sales tab, a shipping tab, an invoicing tab, and a paying tab. Well, there are fields on here that are not on the other screen. Example is if you go to the selling tab, you got a customer order field, or if you go to the shipping tab, you've got the delivery terms, title passage, and carrier. So what we want to do is instead of having to come down here every time we want to change some of these fields, I want to show you how you can modify the system so they're nothing more than tabs here. So let's go over here to our personalizations tab. If you click the drop down, you'll notice that there's a number of different personalizations. We're only going to talk about personalizing forms today. So let me click that. And you'll notice that what happened here is that here are the different tabs, and you'll notice that they're all hidden. But one of the things on the contract tab, you'll notice even though it's not hidden, there's a hidden field called customer order. So let's say we want to move it across. I click here, and then I click the unhide button. And what it does is it moves that field over here so that now it'll be on my screen. Now if I go to the general tab and take a look at what's here, one of the things I can do here is I can move over a field called external sales rep, because the internal sales rep was on the first screen. Actually, let's move both of them here so you can see this. So I'm going to click the child session field and move it across, and I'm going to scroll back down and do child and move it across. Now, one of the things I can also do here on these fields is if I click here for the external sales rep, you notice that I have properties up here. I can do things like I could change the label from external sales rep to just, external rep. I could make the field mandatory. I could make it read only. I could change the labeling to be italics or bold or large. And I could also select a color so that I could identify this field as being customized based on the color. And we may do that later, but I want you to understand that you can do this on any field that's there. Okay? Now, if I go to the selling tab, right now I'm not going to move any of these fields. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to go to the shipping tab. Oh, look, I want to move delivery terms because that's something we may always want to maintain. The point of title passage and the carrier. Okay? So now I've moved all those fields. Let's go to the invoicing tab. Let's move tax classification just as a field to have across there. And let's go to the paying one. And what we're going to do here is we're going to move across to payment terms. So we click the field here, do the unhide, and you'll notice now that field's over here, okay? So at this point, we've kind of identified the fields we want to move. We hit the save and exit, and I get a pop-up message about personalizations have been saved. Please restart the session to see your changes. Click OK. Now let's close our session and reopen. And you'll notice now that instead of having to go down to the sales contract header, I actually have my tabs across here so that I can click here, and there's my two sales reps, and notice the internal is here. I could actually take it off of here and leave it just on here if I wanted. I can go to the shipping tab. And now I can update things like the delivery terms, title passage, the carrier, so that I could change it from UPS ground to UPS standard ground, etc. I can go to the invoicing tab. I could put in a tax classification if I wanted, like no tax. I can go to the payment tabs And from the payment terms, you'll notice this one's 040, which is net 30 days. So by doing this, I have been able to personalize the system, and so that rather than having to go to reference and go to the contract header details every time, once I do the personalization, all I have to do is go to the different tabs here, which is a time saver. This concludes today's presentation, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you found it entertaining and also giving you some new knowledge and new skills to try. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.